Prodigy has the heat.
Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper. 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 Hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper.
Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy the Teagues here, and today we will be going over a Pokemon video game tier list. Now, I've seen the response you guys gave on my Pokemon starter tier list. Thank you guys so much for that video. If you guys do like these tier list kind of videos, please let me know in the comments below. But we will be going over a Pokemon video game tier list. Now, some of these I have not played, I will admit. Some of these I have not played, but most of these I have played. And I also thought, you know, you guys seem to like my tier list, so I figured why not make another one. And also, yes, I do know I have not been uploaded to my channel in a long time. I will get into that in a separate video. But let's get it started, shall we? Today we have every single mainline Pokemon game, including Colosseum and XD. But I'm just going to put those right in the not played category. But we have from Red, Blue, and Yellow to the newest of Scarlet and Violet. Now we're going to start off with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Okay, so Red, Blue, and Yellow. They are the first OG Pokemon games. Well, the first OGs are Red and Green from Japan. But here in the United States, we had Red, Blue, and Yellow. But first release was Red and Blue. Now, I have played Red and Blue on the original Game Boy and on the Nintendo 3DS emulator. And they are solid games. They're not the best games because they were the first games, but they were solid. So you know what? I'm going to put Red and Blue in the B tier because it was the introduction to the series. A lot of people say this is where it peaked, but for me, they're pretty good games. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. They're right in the middle. It's kind of like how Nocturne Toten is in the middle for Call of Duty Zombies tier list, which sneak peek into that right now. But we got Pokemon Yellow. I'm just gonna say right now, I have not played Pokemon Yellow, so I will not be able to give my full opinion on the game. But I had heard good things about it and some bad things about it too. But keep in mind that was from when they were trying to do the anime stuff in the game. And well, let's just move on, shall we? Now we have Pokemon Gold and Silver. These are the Johto games. For those of you who don't know, Johto is the region right next to Kanto. And you actually go to Kanto in Gold and Silver, and also HeartGold and SoulSilver, but we'll get to those in a minute. But I have only played Silver out of these three, Gold, Silver, Crystal. I've only played Silver, and I also have to put it in mid because it was not the best. But I did play Pokemon Gold on the Game Boy emulator on 3DS, so I would also have to give it mid. I don't know why I only found the Game Boy game mid. Probably because they were like the beginning, and you can't really rank them unfairly because they're just trying stuff out. But for Crystal, I did not play Crystal. So Crystal will be joining Yellow, Colosseum, and XD in the not played category. I gotta get a drink. But now we have some of the regions or some of the community's favorite games: Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Sapphire, and Pokemon Emerald. Now, I gotta be up front with y'all. Hoenn is probably my second least favorite region. We'll get to the first, my least favorite region later on. But Hoenn is by far my least favorite region, but they do have the most balanced starters, I think. But I strongly prefer the enhanced versions later on. But again, we'll get to that in a minute. I have not played Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire, but I have seen gameplay of Ruby and Sapphire. So I cannot give my full takes on them, but based on gameplay alone, I would have to give them a C. I don't know, I just don't like Hoenn. I never really liked Hoenn. I don't mind the Pokemon in Hoenn, but I don't know. Ruby and Sapphire just didn't click with me. Emerald, I did enjoy Emerald, but I would not put it above a B tier. Probably because I didn't get far in my first playthrough. I was still a young kid, so I didn't know much about Pokemon. Well, obviously I didn't start I didn't originally play these games when they originally came out. So I had to borrow a copy of Pokemon Emerald, and I played it. I did not enjoy it, and it just carried over to now. I just don't know how to explain it. But yeah, that is my Ruby and Sapphire. But HeartGold, but FireRed and LeafGreen, those are two different stories. These are remakes of the red and green versions of the first Pokemon games. Now, I have to say, they are definitely A-tier games. They are 100% A-tier games. They are what a remaster should be, or one of the ways a remastered Pokemon game should be. I think people look at these games as like the standard for Pokemon remakes of older games, and I'd have to agree with them because the graphics are so much better, the additional typing so much better, the characters are written, there's less glitches, which is really good, and there's also more content in FireRed and LeafGreen compared to red, blue, and green, which I love content in Pokemon games. The content is what makes me play the game more, like the story, the characters, the Pokemon themselves. Which obviously I'll get more into that as we go on. Gonna have another drink. Oh boy. Now we have the community's probably most favorite generation. Generation 4 with Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Alright, I did my first Pokemon game was like my first given to me Pokemon game was Pokemon Diamond, and I did enjoy Diamond, so I'm going to put Diamond in A tier. The reason why I'm putting it in A tier, again, it was my first game. Platinum did not come out at the time, so we didn't know what was coming in for Platinum. But while playing Diamond, I don't know, I just really enjoyed playing Diamond with. I think I chose Chimchar back then, but now I 100% prefer Turtwig over Chimchar. But playing Platinum, it was just so much fun. Cynthia was hard. She's even harder in Platinum. But the Pokedex was really weird. It's just like you can only have 2 fire types in Diamond and Pearl. Well, I'd also have to put Diamond and Pearl in A. The Pokedex was messed up. The gym leaders towards the end were kind of screwy as well. Like I think Volkner, he only has like 3 electric types, which is weird. And Flint, the fire type specialist, only has Infernape and Rapidash as his fire types. He has like a Lopunny, he has a Steelix, and it's just all messed up. They really screwed up with the Pokedex on Diamond and Pearl. But Platinum really did fix everything wrong about Diamond and Pearl, which is why it's going up in S. Like this is what most people think the third game of the generation should be made. This is how you better the game series, which I would have to agree. Platinum is by far a better version of Diamond and Pearl, but obviously it's not my favorite. Now, we have the Johto remakes of HeartGold and SoulSilver. I would have to put these games also in S tier. They were my first remake games I have played. I did play FireRed and LeafGreen at a later date. But the first remakes I played were of HeartGold and SoulSilver. I had SoulSilver. I loved every single second of it. The level capping in Johto is really weird though. The level capping for the gyms is weird. Like I think Chuck, Jasmine, and Price are like at the weird level, like between 30 and 35. like all at the same time. It's just really weird. I think Price is lower than Chuck, and Price is like the 7th gym leader. I don't know what they were thinking about that, but I do love the updated Pokédex. I do love the updated graphics. The story is really good in HeartGold and SoulSilver. It's just so long. HeartGold and SoulSilver are long games to play, which I don't mind because I'm a story buff in the Pokemon games. I love the story in the game, which is obviously going to be apparent pretty soon. But there are some games that really take the story and cinematic stuff a little too far, which we're going to be getting into later on. But now we go into possibly my favorite region of the entire Pokemon series. Now we're entering Unova with Pokemon Black and White. Now, Pokemon White was my very first Pokemon. And I also played Black later on, but that's besides the point. I got Pokemon White for Christmas back when it came out. I think it was in 2012. Back when these games came out, or 2011. It was either 2011 or 2012. Back when this game came out, I got it for Christmas. I specifically remember asking my grandma to get me the game that says Pokemon on it with the black dragon on it, because I didn't know its name. And my grandma got it for me, and I was beyond hyped. I think I had like a level 100 Zekrom at like a month or two after I beat the game. No! I don't want to go all into it because we'd be here forever. But Pokemon Black and White, I would have to put at the top of S. Like, these games are what brought me into the franchise. White was my first traditional Pokemon game I've owned, and I've just been in love with the series ever since. My friends have all gotten into Pokemon around this time. I think they also were around into it in Platinum as well. But I really got into it in Pokemon Black and White. My friends got into it in Pokemon Black and White, and we just had a whole bunch of fun, a whole bunch of memories on these games. These games hold a special place in my heart. Just like how their upgrades and the remakes of Black and White hold such a place in my heart. Black 2 and White 2. These games are the definition of the best Pokemon games. I don't care what anybody says, Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2 are by far my most favorite games of the franchise. You have the updated Pokédex. You have challenge mode. You can catch multiple different legendaries. There's QREM upgrades for Zekrom and Reshiram combining with QREM. You got the Pokemon World Tournament. You have Hugh. I love Hugh as a rival. Not as much as I love how Blue is a rival, but that's besides the point. I love Black and White 2 so much. They are my favorite games of the franchise. Nobody can change my mind. And I've just made so many good friends with these 4 games, Black, White, Black 2, White 2. I've made so many good friends, so many memories. And my friends and I still play these older games to this day because these are our favorite games. Like, a friend of mine, Ghosty Reaper, by the way, you can check out his channel in the description below. He and I constantly play Pokemon Black and White, Black 2, White 2. We play these games a whole bunch. We do a whole bunch of challenges on them. Right now, Ghosty Reaper, a friend Bronte, and me, we're all doing like a three-way battle where Ghosty picked Tepig, Bronte picked Oshawott, I picked Stivey, so we're all gonna become champions, get our teams ready, then we're all gonna fight at the end. This is something we've been doing for a while. Ghosty Reaper and I have been doing challenges on these kind of games ever since they came out, and we have not stopped loving the game because there's so much to do in Pokemon Black and White 2, which is what I love. And now we move on to the games that move the series to 3D, actual 3D for the 3DS. That would be Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. These games were pretty much, they're more indifferent in the franchise, especially at this point. We have not seen remakes for these games in a long time. The same with Black and White. But X and Y, these were a transition from the DS to the 3DS, which I loved. I love the 3D graphics. I love the battle animations, the story. The story could have been a lot better. I will admit, the story could have been a lot better. The trainers could have been a lot stronger. But X and Y was where Mega Evolution was introduced, and Mega Evolution is by far the series' best gimmick. But I want to put these games in like S plus tier, but the story just really drives it down. Like the story isn't bad, but it's just not as good as Black and White are. Damn it. You know what? I'm probably gonna piss some people off with this, but I'm putting Pokemon X and Y behind Pokemon Black and White, but in front of Platinum. I enjoyed these games so much compared to Platinum that if I were to get into it, we would be here for like another hour. I don't know. I just really enjoyed Pokemon X and Y. And now we go into the remakes. The remakes of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire with Pokemon Omega Ruby and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. If you guys hear a jet engine in the background, that's just my PlayStation. I don't know why it constantly does that, but anyway. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, they were a big push for the games at the time. My friends and I were really huge into Pokemon. We got these games. We just loved playing it every single day. I think these are what pure like good upgrades should be. I've said that like probably 3 times by now. But Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire definitely go in S, but I think they should go behind X and Y. No, wait. I'm putting Alpha Sapphire up above an S plus tier because you can literally surf on Kyogre and use dive with Kyogre, and it'll show you on Kyogre's back when you're diving in the water. So that's why Alpha Sapphire is getting S plus tier and Omega Ruby is getting an S tier. I'm a simple man. I love simple things. Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. These games were a lot of clicking. I did not enjoy the Team Skull as much as I do now. These games, I'd have to say they were A-tier games. They weren't bad. But they were pretty good. They weren't bad. They could have done some things better, which is what I think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon did for the series. Like, these games are also S plus tier. Granted, the story can be iffy for these games. Like, there's a lot of button mashing, but I did enjoy the box art Legendary Solgaleo and Lunala. I enjoyed the Aether Foundation story. I enjoyed the Ultra Beast side story. I enjoyed the battle tree. The starters were great too. There was just so much in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that were really great, but it isn't as great as Black and White 2. This is where the franchise started losing me a little bit. With Pokemon Sword and Shield. I hate these games. I'm just gonna be out front with you guys. I hate Sword and Shield. Like, this is where start off with the Switch, which I like the Switch. I like the Switch, and I like how they're putting Pokemon games on the Switch. But I hate how you now have to pay for online membership, which was free from Diamond and Pearl on to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Playing online was free. Communicating with your friends online was free. There was no DLC paying for content. Like, I'm not paying $40 for the Island of Armor or whatever the fuck it is for Sword and Shield when you literally got free content in the older games. It just doesn't make any sense. The National Dex is god-awful as well. It's like, oh my god. The Pokemon... If you don't buy the DLC, the Pokemon you get in the main game is like so few. Like, you can't get some legendaries you want. You can't get some Pokemon you want. just really pisses me off, which I would have to put Sword and Shield in F tier. Fight me, I hate these games. They can stay in F tier for as long as they can. I never gotten past the Dark type gym leader for Sword. I did play the full of Shield. I did not enjoy it. Let's move on. But yes, let's move on before I have a fat guy rage attack. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. This is a lot of games where people say they hated. I quite enjoyed these games because these were the first games on the Switch that I 100% completed. I got the certificate for completing the Pokédex, which you can help with your Pokédex from Pokemon Go, which I enjoyed. The graphics were good. The story was kind of iffy. I did not enjoy the story as much, but I definitely have to put Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee probably the bottom of A tier. Yeah, the bottom of A tier. Oh wait, Mega Evolution was a thing. Okay, bottom of S tier. Yep. Okay. I love Mega Evolution. That's why they're moved up a little bit. Also, I do enjoy the 3D graphics, the pure 3D graphics without the lines. I did enjoy that, the crispiness. I just love Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but they're not my favorites. That's why they're at the bottom of S. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. The two remakes fans have been dying for. They were not great. They were not great. They were not great at all. But the Underground was good. I do love the Underground. They kept the gyms, the same gym teams from Diamond and Pearl, which I understand why they did that. They made the Elite Four very hard, which I do enjoy. But I know a lot of people hate these remakes. I'm indifferent towards them, so I'm gonna put them in the middle of B tier. I'm gonna put them in the middle of B tier because these games were not good, not bad. They were just alright, you know. But here's another S+ game, Legends Arceus. Right next to Black and White 2. Pokemon Legends Arceus is the best open world Pokemon game. It's the only Pokemon open world game. And I don't think they can top what they did with Legends Arceus. They cannot top Legends Arceus. They might top Legends Arceus sometime in the future, but that's probably gonna be a while. But I love how they did Legends Arceus with the whole battle mechanics. I love the story of Legends Arceus, the past and Sinnoh, the various different Pokemon. You can catch different starters. I love this game. I love the story. I love the characters. So yeah, Legends Arceus is at S tier behind Black and White 2. And Scarlet and Violet, I just haven't played. I probably will play them later on in the future, but I don't know. But alright guys, thank you so much for sticking through with my Pokemon tier list video. I know my tier list is probably different than yours. Let me know what you guys think of my tier list in the comment section below. And also let me know what you guys think of these Pokemon games. How would you rank them? Because I'm interested to see what you guys are saying about these Pokemon games. Also, if you guys do love the tier list videos, please let me know in the comments. I do plan on making some tier lists for like Call of Duty, Overwatch, Mortal Kombat, Pokemon. I plan on making a whole bunch of tier list videos. And I know you guys will enjoy that. But thank you guys so much for sticking through with me on my Pokemon game tier list video. If you did like it, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel because we are making some banger content later on. I got another episode of Batman Arkham Knight planned. I got some more Call of Duty stuff planned, Mortal Kombat stuff planned. I got a whole bunch of stuff in the works. But yeah, this has been the Gamer Teagues. We'll catch you guys later. Peace out, guys.